I'm Andrew Lindley, Head of Product and Commercial at ClevrChat. This is my first guest appearance on the ClevrChat podcast. I'm here in Gamma's office in London, and we're being hosted kindly by Gamma with our special guest, Andy, who is Head of UCaaS practice at Gamma. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We'll kick things off, Andy. You've been in the UCaaS space for, I could joke and say 40, 50 plus years, but
Thanks for
20 plus years, I think.
Indeed.
What are you seeing in the industry from your side of the fence as to how organizations are approaching the UCaaS unified comms discussion? It used to be in the heyday, I need a new phone system, I've got a CapEx budget, let me spend my budget every 3 to 5 years it was happening. So what's it look like now? What's it changed to?
I mean, yeah, thanks for pointing out how long I have been in the industry. I know I don't look it, but there you go. When I joined Gamma, it was about 15 years ago, we were quite prominent in that whole SIP space.
Yeah.
And effectively, SIP will provide an endpoint, which is a PBX, to the most extent. And we brought to market this thing called Horizon, which was probably one of the...
Not heard of that.
Let me tell you all about it. But it was one of the leading cloud solutions within the UK. And still remains actually throughout Europe. So we built that up to around about 750,000 seats, and that's probably addressing around about 90,000 customers. The conversation had completely changed from what system do we need, which is the old way of looking at it, and then you just plug a SIP pipe into the back of it.
Yeah.
Hey presto, your voice enabled, onto the next. And that conversation's now kind of moved to what are we trying to achieve? So it's more of, we're looking at what telephony can deliver as a business opportunity, whereas before it was just delivering a phone call.
Yeah.
But now it's delivering so much more, and a lot of it's around about delivering on customer experience, which again is a different approach to that telephony system, which was just used to make a call, and if it rang, pick it up, and it's there, and a lot of it delivered by a handset. But yeah, so that's now moved into a more of a tool to deliver that customer experience. It's changed in the fact that the way that we work as well. So I think a lot of us were 9 till 5 many years ago, and we were in the office 5 days a week. But now we have to deliver telephony solutions, communication solutions, collaboration solutions that provide a hybrid working environment. And ultimately, we talk about CX, where everything really is about making more sales, and then being able to measure it. So you have to measure all of the data from today's communications in order to understand what the outcome is. So are you delivering against what your telephony solution requires? That was probably a very long answer.
No, it was simple. Yeah, it sort of touched on various points. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, what is a focus for customers across the UK now for sort of, I guess what you and I would call the UCCC market, and where are the pressures, where are the buying sort of drivers and signals? Because what are you seeing from Gamma Partners and from your experience in industry that people actually want? Have we moved away from the cost conversation? Have we genuinely moved away from it? The marketing fluff at this level in sort of the stratosphere of Vendorland it moved away from it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But have we actually moved away from it on the ground? What are you seeing pressures from resellers that they're getting from customers?
I think we have largely moved away from it. Of course, everyone still likes to drive a commercial bargain. There are all businesses and customers are in this game to make money.
Yeah.
And they're looking at cost savings wherever they go. And I think we realized that a few years ago, when we provided free of call, free of charge calls, for example, because we all used to make money from making a call. But now we don't. So now instead we look to just really bolster on to what I was talking about earlier in terms of, how do you create that hybrid working environment? How do you create that best of breed customer experience. How do you create the workflows to be able to generate all of that? And this is kind of where AI starts to really push into it. But it's not just AI generated. We talk about customer experience, and that's what's prevalent right now, right? But how do you deliver against that customer experience? For us, we deliver a platform. Well, we deliver actually now a number of platforms to fulfill that UCaaS space, because that's how it's just transformed. But things like CRM has become a lot more of an essential requirement. Now, you'll find that a lot of customers, they spend a lot of money on their CRM. A lot. I mean, I think the average is something like £100 per head. But that investment that they make on a per head basis, they want it integrated with the telephony solution. It's not a nice to have. It's a must. What's the point of investing in a CRM platform when you've got your telephony over there and your CRM over there?
Yeah.
And that's certainly again what we're looking to bring in, not just the CRM piece, but we've got things like AI Concierge. We talk about that later. Things like PCI, call recording, because call recording has taken yet another step from just being, I'd like to record your call so I can listen back to it. We now transcript it. It's about compliancy. You can get sentiment analysis from it, so we can tell whether it's a happy or a sad call or a neutral call. You can even tell now if people start getting a little bit emotional or angry and so on, because it's got emotion detection in these things. So yeah, it's kind of really progressed in that. But in terms of focus areas, it's a difficult one for me to kind of converse with you on this, because we know that Gamma is a player, one of the major players, say in the UK and Europe and beyond.
Okay.
However, there are others. So when you look at platforms, and I know the likes of Clever do, then features are features are features. One platform's probably got the same features as the next platform. And that's just really the tip of the iceberg. That's starting to count a lot more. Features you can provide, platforms deliver the features, but it's the governance, it's the compliance, it's the resilience, it's the reliability, it's the network. You can even talk about the long-term viability of the companies providing the platform themselves. So all of those things are what kind of Gamma bring to the table. And that's really where a lot of the focus areas for customers, I would say, are starting to lean towards. Rather than just a commercial kind of transactional relationship. Can I have that, please? 5 minutes you want? Oh, 5, please. It's not that anymore.
We can't be either, is it? Because there's like so many of us. If you go on Companies House and look at registered telecoms providers in the UK, there's 2,500 plus. You're not going to go out and get 25 quotes for the same thing and go, that was 3p cheaper. I'll have that one, please. It's about delivering some value on it, which we've all of us have said we've done for years, and now it's kind of, we actually have to. It's where we've moved to. But I mean, we touched on it a few times already, but AI is everywhere. Everywhere, not just in our industry, but every industry, everyone's got it. Everyone's got some form of AI. And it's one of those where it's doing some good, it's doing some bad. It's impacting every industry in sort of lots of different ways. AI in our industry is, you sort of touched on it. It's what's real, what's hype, is it helping customer experience? How's it integrating into CRMs? What's useful? Where's the value versus the cost of a license? All these AI platforms are, no one's buying an AI. Well, some people are. No one's buying an AI. Everyone's renting an AI. They're all data centers. It's all cost per minute, cost per usage, however it's working. What's real, what's fake, what you see, and you touched on some of it, so I'll let you elaborate on the different types of products and what Gamma they've got. But how does it supercharge everything we've been trying to do as an industry for the last 20 years at this point, I guess?
Yeah, I think first of all, I mean, you've touched on it already. There is so much talk about AI, but there's not actually a lot of understanding of what it is. Obviously, partners such as yourselves, that they understand the concept of it. and they can ask the questions of what do you want to get out of deploying AI within your telephony, within your messaging, within your video, within your just general communications and collaboration solution. And a lot of customers don't actually know. They're just saying, "Oh, I want the AI thing," and it's about delivering the outcomes. And making sure that AI is delivering whatever outcome that they need. Is it a commercial? Are they looking to cut costs by deploying AI? Are they looking to redeploy staff because you've got some an AI concierge type solution that sits at the front end now? That's just handling all the generic questions. Are you looking at delivering efficiency gains, or are you just wanting to use it just to be better than your competitor? By delivering that customer experience. So there's a whole bunch of things that need to be considered before AI is now entrenched in most messaging and voice. We can get this transcripted. If I wanted to now, I could press a button. We could start transcripting this call. That call would then be summarized at the end. So we've got a nice, quick, easy to read summary.
If it understands a couple of northerns.
Well, that's a good point. But then it will create the actions, hopefully, if it understands the dialect. But you say that, actually, in terms of that, there are all those billions of dollars worth of R&D, and we've just seen it evolve so quickly. Cisco just launched a real-time translation solution, where I could be talking in English to you, and you could be Spanish and not understanding English, but it will be translating it in real time. And it's that type of power that you could start using AI.
And is that in meetings and calls or both?
No, absolutely. So it's across the board on it. So it will do that translation for you. And I believe it's even going as far as outside of Mandarin and German and Spanish. It might be going Welsh. So that might solve a problem for our good old United Kingdom. Look, what is AI used for? A lot of it, keep on mentioning CX, and I'll probably not get bored of it because it's just what the world we living right now. I think there's a stat that's knocking around and we can probably all relate to this, is that when a call goes unanswered, an estimated 85% of people will not call back. So if you're an end customer and you're missing a call, you've got a 15% chance of them ringing back. And by the way, I don't want to leave a voicemail.
No.
Because I don't know where it's going to get picked up. I don't know where so I'm not going to wait for that. So I'll just go to the next person, to the next shop, to the next retailer, to wherever it is, and make that call. So that's why we're Gamma as a business, we're really into developing on our own AI strategy. All the things we've talked about before are kind of given. What we have done is with this I think I mentioned it before, a solution called AI Concierge, which is just that front desk. So you can just make appointments with it. So you would bring in any also attendant that you've got as your main number or whatever. And it will say, I don't know, press 1 for this, 2 to make an appointment, press 2 goes through to the bot. Now, a lot of these bots, they've advanced that much. Takes some time before you actually realize you're talking to someone who's not human. But of course, you do have things like human handoff. So if you don't want to talk to a bot, that's fine. You just say, can you just put me through to a human, please? And it will automatically do so. But you can go through the whole process and it will answer the mundane questions, things like, what time are you open till? Can I book an appointment? And then it will link in with your diary and create that appointment, send off the email. And that's all about reducing that missed call. So that you're always available. So, and it works across all levels, to be honest. If you're a plumber and you've got the head down the sink trying to sort something out and your mobile phone's going in your back pocket and you can't answer it, well, that's a missed appointment, because I know I've got a leak or something like that. I'm just going to call the next plumber if they doesn't answer it. So that plumber will then get answered by the AI Concierge bot. take the details. So we've got transcripts of all of the details of what
Yeah.
the issue is. And then it will create the appointments and it fills up the plumber's diary.
Yeah.
But then you can do things like, I don't know, the plumber's just serviced the boiler. So we can do, in 11 months' time, do an outbound call driven by the AI Concierge tool to say, your service on your boiler is nearly up. Would you like to book an appointment for the to come back?
Yeah.
So, it's creating business now, just by deploying.
So is that built into it now, the outbound reach, or is that?
No, so these are the things that we're going to quickly evolve within the solution.
Yeah.
So
you start speeding it up. Speeding it up and making more time, aren't you? That's essentially what you're doing with an AI bot. Is plumber's a good example. We probably don't sell to many plumbers, but it's sort of one that people can easily understand because they can't pick up the phone. They're out of hours. They're having their dinner or whatever in an evening, and someone phones them. If all it needs to be is, I need a plumber tomorrow, AI can quite easily do that, can't it? What's the appointment?
But there's, it's not for the preserve of just that micro business.
Yeah.
Because this scales right up. I mean, you can look at things like, I don't know, housing association. So a housing association, you get lots and lots of queries that come into the front desk, like, I don't know, my roof's broken, can you come and fix it? Or even payment for rent, things like that. All of that now can be delivered by AI, by that concierge solution. And what that means is those receptionists who are taking the call can be redeployed elsewhere.
Yeah.
So that they can get on with stuff, other things that can be, that are human driven, that can provide the efficiency and so on and create a better level of customer service in that respect.
Yeah.
One that we're working on at the moment is creating a virtual receptionist for GPs. And the government have told all of the GPs that you need to be seeing more patients more efficiently. But when you've got 3 receptionists on a Monday morning trying to handle 5,000 calls at 8:30 in the morning because we've all got ill at the weekend, it can't be done. So you just get an engaged term traditionally, or you get put in a queue and you're sitting there forever. And by the time you've got through, all the appointments have gone.
Yeah.
So now we can create something where we can always, the AI is going to be creating a first-line triage. So you're describing your symptoms and you're getting all the details taken and so on. That then goes into the receptionist, and the receptionist then marks it to say that 1, it's important, that person needs to be seen today.
Yeah.
5, we can see them in a month, or don't actually need to see them at all. And then AI Concierge will, in effect, make the call back, book the appointment, send the SMS or the WhatsApp and so on. All pretty much hands off.
Yeah.
And just needs the receptionist to do the administration work and everything else that they need to be doing more efficiently and more productively. Yeah.
And that's all in Gamma's AI Concierge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what we're working towards, so AI Concierge is there today. Maybe when this goes out,
I've seen that as well. Yeah. Leading on from that, there's 2 parts to this. One is, I'll touch on GPs, but legal is obviously a sector again was pretty good. Legal has its own pressures on compliance and data sovereignty and privacy concerns and things like that, which you can sort of marry the GPs to it as well, because you think that's your health, that's my health, that's everyone else's health. Where is that going? Because everything is going into a big engine. Who's monitoring it, who's got access to it, what's it doing, what's it teaching, what's it being used to learn from, how is that data safe, as it were? So it's one for all of us to sort of pick out. But Gamma being legal anyway, pretty successful in legal. Yeah, making AI Concierge work really well in GPs. Where do we sit in the grey area of? We're all feeding, and I'm sure you're the same, you chat to your ChatGPT and it knows more about you than your wife probably does, but we're just blindly giving everything to these LLMs, yeah? Where is it? What's it doing?
Yeah. What I was kind of leading on from what I was talking about before in terms of the tip of the iceberg, the platform sits at the top, it takes all of the information, but where does it go? What's beneath the iceberg? And that's where certainly Gower comes to this for, because we have the network. Yeah. We have the integration directly into data sets. We have our own data center for that matter. and delivering things like governance and compliance, and having all of the ISOs and all the securities and the cyber essentials and so on.
Yeah.
That's what Gamma do.
Yeah.
That's our core purpose. And then we build the platforms on top of that. And because without all of that, it kind of falls down.
Yeah.
But we even get down to a level of, well, where's my call recording kept? And this is where legal kind of really steps in. Well, first of all, one, that recording is compliant, and we can wrap things like sentiment analysis and motion detection and all of that lot in it if you want to go to that nth degree.
Yeah.
But there's also within certainly the Cisco control on WebEx, you can actually tick a box to say, I want all of my data to be stored in the UK. I will then siphon that off just to the UK to make sure it's not gone off to the US, not gone into Europe or anything like that. So you're just really nailing down that governance compliance on that. But yeah, I think most of all it's about reliability as well.
Yeah.
I mean, technical issues and compliance breaches, they just lead to reputational and legal risk, if anything. So owning, managing, supporting, operating that network, that infrastructure and everything underneath it with the platforms that sit on top. It's just, that's again, it's what we do. It enables us to deliver things like end-to-end encryption as well. So it's a secure from a endpoint to delivery situation.
Yeah. That was nicely on to, well, for you looking into your crystal ball, what does UCaaS look like in, say, 5 years? Because given the event horizon we're sort of on at the moment, you and I are about to ride a wave that we've never seen in our industry. If Andy Robinson had to put a pitch on in 5 years what UCaaS and CCaaS looks like, what is it?
Yeah, and I'll probably mention most of these already, to be fair, because AI is going to be native across all workflows.
Yeah,
no matter where you sit as a business. At a consumer level, we're getting used to it. So therefore, it becomes the norm. We're still getting used to it, by the way, because the human handoff that we can see is still quite high.
Yeah.
As people still want to talk to humans. But in terms of buying behavior, for example, we're already making our decisions a lot of the time before we've actually picked up the phone to someone, because we've been online.
Yeah.
And we've been online to say, what's the best TV? And they'll say, well, what size do you want? 65 inch. Right. Here's ChatGPT or whatever it is. And it'll come up with a suggestion taken from all views, from all websites and so on. And I will say, an Acme 65 inch TV is the best one. You're like, no, I don't want Acme. And then you go down the list of Samsung. I like that. That's a nice brand. Right. I'm going to go for that. However, I want to drive a better price. So then you can pick up the phone, and you can start driving that price, because if you speak to a bot, then they're not into negotiating. They don't like that. They're very ones and zeros. They're very wide with it. Yeah. So that almost consumer-led approach to adopting AI themselves just lends itself and pushes and will push and continue to push how we design our whole telephony solutions on how we communicate as well. Because it's not just a voice call, is it? It's WhatsApp, it's SMS, it's everything. I have absolutely no idea what my daughter will be using in 5-10 years.
That's terrifying.
No, it's something called Snapchat or something. I'm going to show my age there. They communicate over that. I don't know where it is. Apparently it's on my phone. She can tell where I am. That's scary. Why start in the pub again? How do you know that?
Because it's a weekday.
Yeah. Very good.
Which leads nicely on to one strategic question that every IT leader needs to be asking their UCaaS provider in 2026.
I think I'll probably refer back to what I said earlier, is, will the solution be actually delivering business value?
Yeah.
Or is it just features? Again, anyone can provide features, but it's got whatever that IT person, that IT leader, they need to understand what it is that they want. What is the outcome? You don't just go, I need AI.
Yeah, it's not, I need AI. Some of our customers have got they've got no IT budget, but they've got an AI budget.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
those two are the same thing. And it's, I think your point on it's about outcomes. So don't just go and get 20 quotes because you're up for renewal. It's like, what are you trying to achieve? If you're paying X price per user per month or whatever you've got now, look at your AI stack. How many different things are you paying for? And you don't know what they're doing, and they could all be one platform, one sort of solution. It's ask your provider what benefit they're going to provide, but ask yourself, like as an IT manager, you're not just spending money. Everyone's budgets are smaller than these. They need to be delivering. They need to sort of proving their job, and it's going to help them by putting the right thing. We're kind of coming to a close, but I do have a quick fire round.
John.
Okay. So actual quick fire round.
Yeah, sure.
So first line of your address. One UCaaS myth that needs to die.
Migration. So there is often it is a myth. It didn't used to be fair. It did used to be complicated and risky. But now it's not. There are so many options and managed services, professional services that are absolutely proficient at these type of things.
Yeah.
That we can do it seamlessly. Obviously when you're moving from one platform to another, you're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
You're looking for productivity gains, enhancements in functionality, all of that stuff. So there is a little bit of kind of blank sheet of paper to it. But in terms of moving it, just the core functionality from one place to another, it needn't be risky.
No, it's not. Especially if we work with a partner that knows what they're doing. And someone in the engine room behind them like camera, it's not. It's pretty straightforward. All right, next one. One cloud telephony capability every organization underestimates. This should be pretty easy based on what we've just been talking about.
Well, you could go for the obvious one and say AI. But I'm probably going to go for CRM integration. I think that is it. There are so many CRM platforms out there. There's thousands of them. And the ability to be able to integrate, I was talking about before, integrate that CRM solution into your telephony platform. It's just key. It's absolutely key. And there's probably a lot of customers out there who don't realize that you can do that. They are treating them all separately and differently. And they'll have several platforms. They'll have the CRM over there. They'll have telephony over here. They'll have some other, their finance over there and so on. And they're having to deal with like 7 different platforms. Well, if you could start consolidating and integrating those, because you can work naturally and natively out of your CRM platform and your telephony platform now. It's just how it will start to be and how it will start to go. So I'll probably go for that.
And it used to be that you used to have to pay tens of thousands of pounds for someone to write some code to click to dial, for example. Whereas now it's like using WebEx, you can hook in straight away to any number of different CRMs. And like I said, there's thousands out there and a lot are niche to the marketplace they're in. And the kind of fact of the matter is pretty simply, we could integrate into any of them and give the functionality someone needs. And I guess a lot of people probably don't even know about it, or they don't know how much it'll benefit them. Most exciting real-world AI use case you've seen?
I'm going to go with something that it's only
do we want to know about something?
To be released, just be released. It's something that Cisco just launched actually. It's going to be, it will soon be on Gamma's WebEx. I have access to it. It's called Note Take. So obviously you've got
you don't need to guess at what that does.
Well, but it's what it can achieve.
Yeah.
So this conversation, for example, I could have had my mobile phone sitting in the middle. We could have been in a one-to-one session. And it's listening in, it's transcribing the conversation. But what it's also doing in the background is it's summarizing it. It's taking actions, and it will be posting actions to both of us at the end of that conversation. Even if we said, right, let's do another one-to-one next month. It will actively look in our diaries to find the next available slot that we are both available. And it will suggest that is it. And I've got a large team of specialists, and they're running around the country. They're doing loads of demos and so on, and trying to nail them down to a one-to-one meeting. And then when they actually get to that one-to-one meeting,
It's like I'm totally control laptop from tapping away, and that is things
just doing it for me.
Yeah.
And it's creating the actions, because I'll always miss a couple of actions because I'm having a conversation rather than going, oh, I forgot. Yeah. So there's that. I think I mentioned the other one before, real-time translation. I think on a global scale, that brings all languages from a global capacity.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is. And you just look at the UK. I mean, you can look at again, I'll pick on the GPs just because, they have to deal with all sorts of cultures.
Yeah.
That happily live wherever in the UK. And they can now have that real-time translation as to having a video call, or again, just sitting in front of your laptop or your phone, and it's creating that translation.
Yeah.
I think it's such a game changer.
Yeah. Last one. I think I know what your answer is. One piece of advice for IT leaders planning a migration to now. Let me guess, is it going to be integrate to your CRM system?
Well, there is that, but I think probably the one that first came to mind was just don't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
And as we talked about it before, it needn't be a dark art. It need to be complex. So don't be afraid of to migrate. And that could be from PBX, it could be from another cloud solution, it could be whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever solution will deliver against your outcomes, then you can easily migrate to it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and that's it. And yeah, thanks for coming on, Andy. Thanks for your insights. Obviously,
you've been around 15 minutes.
I'm wrong 15 minutes. No, it's got a clock. Yeah, you've been around the industry, the channel for a long time. You know what's going on. You get to work with the likes of Cisco, which it's pretty exciting. If you told young Andy you were going to be in a room with Cisco, it's pretty cool, isn't it? It's sort of every little I'm calling you a nerd now, you're not a nerd, but every little nerd's dream is being with like the Cisco's, the Microsofts, and you're in the room with all of them. So it's really insightful. Really thankful for having you on with ClevrChat, and thanks to Gamma, one of our strategic partners. We love working with Gamma. Tell on to the camera. So yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, I'm Andrew. This is ClevrChat podcast, and we'll sign that one off then.